He's like, hello, I'm here to talk to you guys about life and how life is gonna be is might not be as long as you think it will, because life isn't forever. I mean, like when people say you're gonna live forever, that ain't right. That doesn't work. Because if you live forever, then the earth will explode and you'll be like floating there, but you'll be like all suffering because you can't breathe. You'll still be living, but it's not like proper because you're living forever, but you're still suffocating like dead. But you ain't dead because you're living forever, but you're still like trying suffocating. Like you can't die, but you're still suffocating. Anyway, life ain't forever. You gotta live life like it was every day was your last. Cause life ain't, like I just said, you can't breathe in space. Can't breathe in space. You can't do any of that crap. That doesn't happen because if you're living forever, you start suffocating. You won't die. You'll just be suffocating there, floating. You'll be floating, suffocating. It doesn't work because science doesn't work like that. Science doesn't work that way. Anyway, so life ain't forever. So you gotta live every day like it was your last. Space won't be your last day because I just told you, like you can't. You'll just be all right. You can't, you'll be suffocating. But every day won't be your last. You gotta make sure you live every day like it was the greatest day you've ever lived. You gotta make sure you take chances and not just have what's happening in front of you. You can't always be the motherfucker that sits there in the house when it's a nice sunny day. You can't be sitting there playing video games in a virtual world. You can't be fucking anime girls, okay? I mean that's probably something that everybody would want to do. I mean me personally, I would definitely do something like that. But I mean you can't be doing that. I mean it would probably make sense if you did that too. But because technology is evolving and all that. But I mean, like you still can't be doing it. It's a nice sunny day out. You probably shouldn't be inside. Your parents are probably telling you to go outside. Like, hey, look, it's a nice day out. Probably shouldn't be in here. But you're still inside. Have sex with not real anime girls. I mean, I'll probably do that. That's probably something I would do. But you can't be doing that. I mean, I understand that too because that makes sense because anime girls are hot. But you can't be doing that because it's a nice sunny day out. You gotta get some nice vitamin whatever the hell the sun vitamin D I think vitamin Dick in your skin because it's real good for your skin. You gotta make sure that you tan. You can't always be a pasty white ghost. You gotta make sure that you tan pretty well so that the fake anime girls will look at you and be like, "Ooh, damn." Okay. I mean, the anime girls aren't real, and they will probably never say "oh damn" because they don't know that you exist. But you probably should, because that'll probably help you. That'll probably be healthy for you. Anyway, so you gotta go outside. You gotta love your life. Gotta take chances. If someone tells you not to do something because it's kind of dangerous, but it won't kill you. If it won't kill you, and it's kind of dangerous, do it because it'll make it stronger. I don't care if you break your arm. You gotta do it because it won't hurt you that bad. I mean, your arm will probably hurt because it's broken, but you probably won't be able to do stuff for a long time because your arm is probably broken, so your arm will probably hurt for a long time. But that's if it gets broken. I mean, if it does get broken, you probably won't be able to do stuff because it's broken, and you won't be able to hurt stuff, do anything with that certain hand. But if it ain't your dominant hand, then you could do stuff. I mean, if it is your dominant hand, then you'll probably have to use your non-dominant hand, which will be difficult to do for a long time. I mean, because your dominant hand's broken, and you probably if you're right-handed, you have to use your left hand, and your left hand ain't good. It ain't good. It don't use the hand-eye coordination. It don't do it properly. So so your right hand will be broken, but your left hand won't know how to do shit because it's retarded because it's not dominant. So it's just being retarded over here doing the wiggly arm dance, and your right hand's still broken, so you can't do anything with it. But then it heals, and then you're fine. But you still got to take that chance. You still got to do all that stuff. You still got to go out there and break that arm. Got to break a leg. That's what they tell you to do. I don't know why they tell you to do that because breaking a leg is probably not a good idea to do because it's not a good thing because you'll break your leg. It's probably bad to do. I mean, they probably tell it's a figure of speech and all that, but it's still probably bad for them to tell you that because you don't want to actually break a leg or anything like that. I mean, it would make sense because it's like, oh, break a leg, like they're telling you what I was just saying right now in one single phrase. Break a leg, live every day if it was your last. That didn't make sense. But live every day as if it was your last, which would make sense. But they're still telling you to break your leg, which ain't very nice. So technically, they're being mean to you. So they're like, hey, break a leg. You should just respond to them like, hey, fuck you, because that ain't nice to say. Which I don't appreciate that. But anyway, you still gotta take that chance and leap out and break her arm. I mean, you probably shouldn't break her arm, but still, just take the chance because that day could be your last day, and you want to end it off with something good. If you break her arm that day and the world ends, at least you could say, I did that. And if that ain't good, if it's something stupid like that, don't worry. You ain't done yet. You got to make sure that you live your life to the fullest. As in, you got to make a handprint on the world. You got to paint your hand, and you got to put it on the concrete. It will never go away. It will. You probably should. I mean, it'll probably go away over time. It'll probably start to fade away, but you know, but that's beside the point. I mean, it'll probably start to fade away in the rain. You know, if it rains immediately after that day, you know, if your handprint is still wet and the rain comes down and it starts going putting it away, it'll probably be a bad thing because it'll disappear. It'll start to go away. You know, but you still wanna put. I mean, if it's red or something, it'll probably stay there for a long time. But you probably want to do it in like your favorite color, which is like something like, let's say like blue. If you put like a dark blue down, it'll start to turn into black. And then people won't be able to see that because like it'll start to fade away into tiny pieces of chunks, and no one will be able to tell because it's like the ground is made of chunks and like blackness because it's concrete, you know, because it's like tiny pieces of rocks. That's what concrete is. Like there's just tiny pieces of rocks in there that are also black, so people will mistake your black paint for rocks. But that's beside the point. You gotta do something great. You gotta make sure you break records. You gotta make sure you do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't mean break records for having sex with fake anime girls. I mean that would, you probably shouldn't do that because I already set the record for that. Okay. I mean I told you guys you should probably not do that because they're fake anime girls. But I already set that record, so don't try and beat it because that's my handprint to put on the world. So it's my handprint is having sex with a lot of anime girls, fake anime girls. They're great to do. I mean, you probably shouldn't do that because I already set the record, but still. I mean, I would totally be okay because that might be a record you want to set, but I already set the record. So if you start trying to set the record, I'm gonna beat you because I'm gonna keep going with my record. Okay, all right. I mean, it's probably something you want to do, but I still want to do it. Anyway, you still gotta do something great. You gotta break records, as in like break the fastest time. You gotta skydive from high place. You gotta do something exciting with your life. I mean, and if you're like anxiety and all that, you probably, I don't know what you're gonna do actually, because write a song or something that'll help. Even just something as small as writing a song that'll help you, right? You gotta do something. I mean, writing a song is probably pretty difficult. You gotta find rhyming words and stuff. You know, probably talking about asses, because that's how the world works now. Because you know, Kanye West and like Kim Kardashian and they're pretty stupid, but. And they're famous, so that's pretty basically the pinnacle of famousness. If you want to get famous, just do something stupid and you'll be famous. Because Kanye West and Kim Kardashian are famous for some reason, and they pretty stupid anyway. I mean, you see Kanye West going on stage like, I have decided in 2020 to run for president. That doesn't. It's Kanye West. You don't like. What are you doing with that? That's not supposed to happen. What do you like? Are you serious? Are you actually serious with that? What are you doing? Anyway. So if that's what you want to do, then definitely write a song. Because writing songs is definitely something that's pretty easy, it's pretty simple, but you can still make a big handprint on the world. Pretty set. You got to find a producer or something like that, which might be pretty difficult. I mean, you probably have to find someone who wants to find you, like Justin Bieber did or something like that. Just, you know, someone who wants to, basically like says that your music's good and you know you should probably produce it or something. Maybe get a friend who knows how to do that stuff and have him produce a thing, and it'll get you famous because it's a small thing. Writing a song is pretty simple. You just got to find some rhyming words, but it's also pretty difficult because you got to find some rhyming words, and that could be pretty difficult at times. But you can probably just look them up, you know, like words that rhyme with like hey, for example, like hey, and like hey with like for so it's hey, and then hi, it's like hi kind of hey, and then there's hey for horses, and those are two different words, but they sound the same. They rhyme because they're the same word, but they're also different words. They mean the same thing. Mean different things. But anyway, you got to make sure you put a handprint on the world because that's what you need to do because everyone needs to do that. If you die tomorrow and you didn't do anything great, you're going to be all sad when you die. You're going to be, your dead body is going to be crying in his grave or wherever you die. I mean, if an asteroid crashed into Earth, you won't have a grave because Well, because you won't have grave, because the entire planet will be like all messed up and stuff. It'll be all burning and all that. Everything will be dead. Everything will be disintegrated or something, because the whole planet will like collapse on itself because of the asteroid. There won't be any water, which means all the humans will die. But that's beside the point. You will cry. You would be dead and you will cry because you won't have done anything great. I mean, if you're dead, then everything's great. And if you're like having everything cool, everything's happy, and it's like, oh my goodness, everything's super great. You might want to do that. You might want, because if you die and the afterlife is super great, then I guess you won't be super sad, but you'll still be super sad, kind of. I mean, because it's an afterlife. Because if there is an afterlife, you got to do that. But doing other stuff because it's the afterlife. Because if the afterlife's great, then I guess you won't be sad about your death. But still, you gotta put a handprint on the world. You gotta make sure it doesn't fade away like the rain because it's spray paint. It's all the paint. You gotta make sure that you use a vibrant color like bright red, and you just slap the world in the face. You gotta make sure you do that. And if that ain't good, then that ain't good. Make sure you do your own stuff with the world. Make sure you slap the world in the face. Kick the world in the balls. The world doesn't really have balls, but still. Make sure you kick the world in the balls and make your own handprint on the world. Make sure people know you for what you want them to know you for. Make sure you do something that means something in the world. That's it. Mic drop. Peace. Where's my manager? Do I get paid now?